Welcome back to another Linton Live. Today we are going to talk about windows with Brandon. So let's dive right in. If I'm selecting or I need to replace my windows, where do I start?
It's a good question. There's a ton of options in the market. Usually the trickiest part is deciding colors and styles. In the replacement end of things, people often try to just replace it with what they have style wise. You can go outside the box, but the size of the window that you have and the dimensions that it currently is kind of predicts kind of a bit of the options you do have to replace it with. I mean, we can change the shape of the window. We can cut them in bigger, wider.
Unless you're gonna have
Um,
like a full reno, right? And you're
exactly.
gonna cut this out and you have a whole new vision, then you can start from scratch,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're trying to keep cost controlled, essentially keeping the same size opening is always the most preferred. But I mean, there's everything from sliders to up and down hung windows to, a casement window that cranks left or right outside, down to an awning window, which has become extremely popular over the kitchen sink. It
Yes.
eliminates that bar that most people have in their view. It just opens the window up and makes it seem so much larger for such a minimal cost. It really does change the way the whole kitchen even feels.
And options have certainly changed over the years, right? So let's
Yeah.
say you've got a house. I mean, if your house is like 20 plus or more years old, your windows have certainly shifted in technology. You've upgraded there. If somebody's looking at like, I'm going to replace my windows, but then I want more energy efficiency, more, are you going to see, you're going to see an upgrade, like when you've got like the drafts and all of those sorts of things, problems you're trying to solve.
Yeah, yeah. So, and once again, the slider windows are energy efficient. Our basic is double glazed glass. You got the argon gas in between still, and a low E coating on it. You can go up to triple glazed. With our climate, it is a little bit overkill. To be honest, most people don't need it unless you're just doing it just for the sheer comfort of it, I
Or would that
guess.
be for like if you're going like a net zero and you really want to eliminate any drafts or any air leakage from the home?
When you get to the casements and awnings, they seal amazing. So even styles will change that, and let alone the glass package. Um, in my scenario, like in my own house, I wouldn't have replaced it with triple glaze except for my wife told me we were. And to be honest, I don't even
Didn't
know if,
ask,
yeah,
told.
I was told. I was voluntold.
Yeah.
But really, like double glazed, I live in the Waterloo region. There's no need to go up to triple, but it definitely does give a higher energy efficiency rating and a more energy efficient feel. Like when I stand by it, I don't have that draft going to what you're saying, but it is overkill.
Do you know, this is what I love though about everyone here at Linton. When Brandon, you and your team, you're honest. You're
Yeah.
just like, you don't tell me what. I mean, there are some people that say, "Yeah, I want exactly this." Like your wife, this is what we're doing. Or here's some options. Here's what I would do. Here's what you could do, and I mean, you can land somewhere in the middle there, right?
Yeah, you'll probably find a different experience with us here at Linton just because our salesmen are not working off commission. So there's not an interest in trying to get your bill higher. We
It's
hear
getting
about
what's right for
this.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we kind of work with the client. It's what our reputation is built on, and it's done us well over the course of 50 years now. So it's what we're going to roll with the next 50. So.
I love it. All right. So, anything else we should touch on before? You know what really should happen is you should just come in and see Brandon or the team, or you've got an amazing sales team here. And then, what's the process? Obviously, they need to go and do some measurements.
Yeah, so the easiest way to go about it is to book an appointment with us, call into the office, get it something scheduled. It costs nothing to have us come out, have someone come out, look at kind of what probably fits the bill best for you, styles and colors and glass packages and all that kind of jazz. And then we'll give you a quote, no obligation. And then if you want to move forward with it, you simply give us a second call and then we send someone out for a remeasure and then it's just a waiting game till we get it in for you.
And the waiting game is not that long of a wait, not
No,
the way it
no,
was before.
not like it was the last couple of years. It's much more reasonable. I'm gonna call it close back to normal. You're a few weeks probably longer than what we're used to from 3-4 years
Which
ago.
isn't bad at all.
No,
Yeah.
no.
And this is the special treat, the magic, I think, really behind Linton Window and Door is the fact that you can see what you're putting your money into, right? Like you can see the difference. When you
Yeah.
when you change that and you make that reno,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah. It's not quite like doing a roof where, you know, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Right,
You
you
actually
see
get to
it.
feel the difference, you know, actually when you're in the home and you actually see a difference visually with it, and you can play with it. And you know, a lot of people are doing a black window these days. It completely transforms the look of your home from the curb. So
And definitely reap the rewards, whether it's from the curb or you're going from the patio into the backyard and the doors are opening and closing and opening, constant use, wear and tear. Yeah, money well spent.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Hey, if you need windows and doors, you know where to call. Linton is right here and super easy to reach. Best thing to do is either call, drop in, make an appointment.
It's either of those options. Most people try to make an appointment, and usually they swing in secondary to just see what the
And
products
they're
are.
driving by and take a look.
That's
I
right.
love it. Do some exploration right here at Linton Window and Door. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can catch them, actually, I wanted to mention too, in the showroom here either in Cambridge or now you're also in Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of options. Thanks for tuning in to another Linton Live.